everyone, and welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are setting up for March, and we've done the journal setup in the last video. Today we are talking about my TBR going into the new month. I'm going to point out that I am a little bit under the weather. I've got, I think, a chest infection, or at least it feels like one, so I'm a little bit breathless. I do apologise, but I'm very excited to get on to March's TBR. I have done quite a lot of reading over February. I've read 13 books so far, and being a short month, I'm pretty happy with that already. But I've got 3 on the go that I'm going to finish before the month's out. Actually, no, I've finished 14. I finished one last night. So I've got 2 on the go at the moment. I'm about to pick up another one today. That's going to hopefully cover one of these prompts that I've got going on. If you didn't know, I was taking part in a readathon for February, as well as doing the prompts. It's kind of what I'm doing this year. I have a friend who is a readathon guru. Her name's Monica, or 𝓬𝓲𝓷𝓷 by night. You can follow her on Instagram if you like, and I'll link that below. She finds a readathon for every single month. It's just like something that she does, and I have become like her biggest supporter and joining her on these readathons. So we're taking part in the Readathon readathon for March, and that's pretty impressive. It's got quite a few prompts. Obviously you don't have to do them all. I've done my page in my journal. So these are positive and negative prompts. The good thing is that you can use up to 5 prompts for one book. So if I really feel the need to go that hard out, I can. And I'm not really going to focus on those prompts right now when it comes to my TBR, because I feel like there's quite a lot of them and that'll be overwhelming. So we're just going to focus on the other things that we need to take part in. So things like the TBR Vending Machine. We've got Kindle Takedown here. We've got to look at, let's go to the back of my journal, the Adventure Year of Choices, and is it 𝓷𝓷𝓷? Yeah, I think so. So we've got our March choice for that. I've not even finished February yet, so that's a bit awkward. And we've also got the Readathon. So let's get into what this whole TBR is going to look like. Okay, so starting off with the TBR Vending Machine. This is the game that I play every single month, or except for June and December. Those are my months off, and this is a game that essentially guides my reading. I'm not much of a mood reader. I like to have some structure. I like to have some sort of list that I can check off. I'm very much a to-do list person, so I do this every month. I don't take it too seriously anymore. I used to have a punishment rule, but essentially I'm going to use the TBR Vending Machine to pull 5 little beads that have a number on them. We've got 50 prompts here, but we've actually got 60 beads when we started the game. 10 of them are blank and they represent mood reads. So 5 beads. However, if the machine is finicky and sends out more than 1 bead at a time, then I have to pick up that prompt as well, but we're capping it at 8. I will say that on my test run, make sure that the machine was working, I did get 3 blank beads, so I am going to cap the mood reads at, for myself, for just 1, because I prefer the prompts. So hopefully that was all I'll get if I do get one of those blank bowls. And then I will get into playing the game right now. I will put this board here that's got all the prompts on it on the screen in a clear, like, front and center sort of way, so you can read the prompts better, because I'm sure you can read them from this angle, but it is on a slant. So let's get into pulling the 5 prompts. Hopefully it's only 5, fingers crossed. And also I'm aware that my nails are absolutely ratchet. I don't like to point that out, but I have been taking a break from my normal gel nails just to give my nails a rest, and I'm finding it really challenging because I have horses and I'm doing a lot with my hands with the normal polish. That's a very first world problem. You didn't need to know that, but I just wanted to point it out because I'm an oversharer. Right, let's get into the game. First one. And we got 2 straight away. The game is playing us hard. We've got number 33, which is published after 2019. Perfect. I can do any book I want on my shelf for that, pretty much. And we've also gotten number 44, which is a new to you author. Ooh, that would be interesting. The next pull, oh thank goodness, I was a little worried then that we were going to get quite a few messed up pulls. Right, we have, oh, good catch, number 41, which is a library borrow. Perfect, because we all know that I am relying on the library this year to keep my costs down. Third pull is 10, and that is Has Magic. Okay, so far we're off to a good start. So we've had 3 pulls, now we're on to our 4th one. Oh thank goodness, we're still doing strong with just the ones at the minute. We have 49. Oh, be chill, children. No? Now this is just getting messy. Which is new series. So 49 is new series, so that will be fun. We'll get to start something new in March. And last pull. Did we get more than one? We did. Oh no. Okay, so far we've got 5. So now we've got 7 prompts. Oh goodness me. What have we got? We've got 9, which is sci-fi. Oh, the last prompt has gotten me hard. Okay, no, actually I think I've got one. I think I've got one for that. And then the other one is 17. Cute cover. That'll be fun. Okay, so there's our 7 prompts for the TBR vending machine. I'm going to have to get my computer to do the work for me for this. So essentially this is Kindle Takedown time. My Kindle is full of books. I'm really lucky that my physical TBR is down to below 30, but my Kindle is chocker with all these books that I've been getting from Stuff Your Kindle. So essentially I have been using this when I don't know what book to read next to pick up a book and see if I can either read it or remove it from my Kindle. And I'm not feeling bad about that because I'd rather take things off than just let them sit there gathering digital dust. But yeah, this has been really fun so far. So let's get a number and I will have to have a look on my computer and find out what that is and then show you when we get to the prompt section. So we've got number 83 for the Kindle Takedown. And next on the list is to go through all the readathons, the yearly readathons that I'm taking part in. So I've got my journal here. We've got February, which I have already done. I haven't written it down yet. March is character names, so that could be something like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies because Emily's name's in it. I'm gonna have to really think on this because I'm not sure if I have any left on my shelf that are a character name, but we can always come up with our TBR for that. We've done Kindle Takedown already, and then we've got a flip to the back. Oop, a little bit of dust there. I haven't done February yet. I've got the book ready for it, but I haven't done it yet. So it says I'm taking the WIT. So I went the digital route to begin with, so I have to continue on. So I'm hoping to read a book that has mist in the title to continue on, because I don't really read horror. Sorry, it's not horror, is it? Mystery or thrillers. So I did try a couple of like cozy mysteries and didn't get far. So this one says remove a complex lock enchantment cast on the exit door. Gosh, I can't read that, it's too small for me. So what do we have to do? Hang on, I'm going to bring it to my face. start/continue a series that intimidates you. Okay, so that's really saying that I'm reading Thunderhead by 𝓤𝓱𝓮𝓻 this month. That's 2 prompts telling me I have to continue this series. So, okay, we've got at least one book that we definitely know is locked and loaded for March. Let me go find out what the rest of it's going to be, and I will return with hopefully some answers of what I'm going to be reading over March. Okay, so I started out saying that I knew one book in particular was going to end up on this list, and it is Thunderhead by 𝓤𝓱𝓮𝓻. This is book 2 in the Arc of the Scythe saga. Oh, trilogy, sorry. And this is a dystopian sci-fi world. Basically, it's set in a world where Earth has combated disease, we've combated any way that you can die. We've managed to find a way to stop people from dying, but that therefore leaves too many people being alive and populating Earth and not enough space. So there are scythes who are tasked with culling the population due to certain circumstances, like they have to meet a criteria for a certain amount of deaths. Both good and bad people end up on this list. It's really fascinating and thought-provoking. I found Scythe really fascinating when I read it, I think over a year ago, but it was really heavy stuff, and I remember it kind of being quite tough to get through, so I've kind of put off reading Thunderhead. I know I really want to read it. I want to finish the series. I want to know what happens next, and I did find the characters really interesting, and there's 2 characters that you follow. 𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓵, who's sort of more on the road to being like a good scythe, and then you've got Rowan, who was taken under the wing of someone who's really nefarious, and has obviously had to survive that, but also has been, his training has been instilled on him, so he's like deemed the bad scythe, if that makes sense. That's very like black and white. They're very much so not that way. There's a lot more depth to the characters, but I don't want to give away too much. I really am looking forward to seeing what happens next. Hopefully I won't like put this off. I've put it off about 3 times now, and I just think I really need to get onto it. Maybe I'll have to hire it out as an audiobook, but I don't think that my library has it, so I think it's an Audible exclusive, so maybe I could find it on Audible and tandem read it, or mix read some of it in the book and some of it on audio. I don't know, but it is definitely going to be on my list to get through in March. So everyone out there that knows that I want to read this and has seen me put it off, come for me, hold me accountable, ask me if I've read Thunderhead yet. So I really do want to get this one done. Next up we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and I have this down for published after 2019. This is the first story in a trilogy, and it's been taken, like, it's all over Instagram, and I've seen lots about this book, but I actually didn't know what it was about until I read the back of the book before. So Payton is in a I think in a kingdom, city, one of them. There's a kingdom. I'm not sure, but basically everyone has powers, and she is a psychic, and she inadvertently helps save one of the princes of the elites and ends up being put into a big competition. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say it's just one of those ones like All of Us Villains, the Hunger Games, that kind of brutal competition, fight for your life kind of thing. That's not my favourite type of read, I'll just put that out there straight away, but apparently this is a romantasy that's really, really good. I've heard nothing but great reviews, and FOMO got me, so that's why I have the book. I actually got it for Christmas, so very excited to get into it now. I am reading it with my friends that we do buddy reads with, almost. We try to do one once a month, but we've been a little bit behind because we've been doing the readathons together. So yeah, we're going to read this one together. We've all got a copy now. So excited to get onto this and to see what my friends think of it and be able to discuss it, because that's one of my favourite things about reading. The next prompt I've got is new to you author, and I have never read from this author because I don't read non-fiction often, but I do belong to a book club where there's 3 different hosts, and for the 3rd month in 2024 it is the host that reads a lot of non-fiction, and this is Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. I have absolutely no idea what it's about, but I'm going to guess it's to do with productivity, knowing that the host is very much so productivity and like very focused on how to build herself up to perform better in her everyday life. I've picked this up because I have not read the February read because that was dark romance and I don't read that, and in January I DNF'd the book that was for this book club, so I want to try and get one done. I can't believe it's the 3rd month already and I haven't got one done, so this is the goal, to get this one done. It's very, very short. I've got it as an audiobook, so that's in my favor. I can just chuck it on while I'm doing something, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. Continuing on with my reread of the Folk of the Air series so I can start the Stolen Heir, I am going to be reading The Queen of Nothing for number 10, which has magic in it. I obviously know what this book is about because I've read the series. I gave it 5 stars last time. I have been listening to it this time around and really enjoying myself. It's been fantastic to pick up as an audiobook, and I absolutely love the narrator's voice for Carden, so very much so excited to get this one done, and then I just have to pick up the illustrated copy, and then I'm going to be able to start the Stolen Heir, which is fantastic. If you don't know what the series is about, it's a fae fantasy. This is book 3, and it is following a wonderful character called 𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓲, and she essentially is a human who has grown up in theory, and through very elaborate political movements, she has made some really interesting moves that have got her into the role as Queen of Alfheim. But obviously this story starts with her not thinking great things about that, so really like this one. I still think The Wicked King is my favourite in the series, but like I said, rereading this through the audiobooks has been fantastic. I've been picking up on things that maybe I didn't quite grab when I was reading it the first time round, so I'm intrigued to see whether or not this one reads better as an audiobook. But either way, it's still one of my favourite books, so very excited to do this one for Has Magic. Anyone who watched last month's TBR will know that this was actually a February TBR book, but I am filming this on the 24th, I think, or is it the 23rd? 24th. So I've only got like 5-ish days left of the month to read, and I've been convinced into joining a buddy read last minute, so I don't think I'm going to be getting to this one after all. So I will be reading this one most likely in March. So I've picked this one up for new series because I have books 1 and 2, and book 3 is out this year. This follows a figure skater called Anastasia and a hockey player captain called Nate, and I believe they end up having to share their space on the ice. I picked this one up because, one, there was a lot of hype around it, and I did get a bit interested in it because it has figure skating, and I absolutely love figure skating. I have no idea why, because I couldn't get on the ice to save myself, but I think it's really pretty to watch, and I don't think there's enough figure skating books that, at least that I've seen or come across, in mainstream romance or fiction, and really, really want to read that. So I have heard really good things about this book because one of my friends in the buddy read group that I spend a lot of time with has read it and was really hyping me up in December to read it, but for many reasons I didn't get a chance to, so I'm going to pick it up. And if I start it at the end of February and then roll over into March, it's still gonna count for this read. So yeah, very excited for this. I know a lot of people that like it, and I'm hopeful that I will too. I'm trying to be very vague with these synopsises, but yeah, they do have to share a rank. That's correct. And they don't like each other, so I wouldn't go as far to say enemies to lovers, but you know, hey ho. Rivals to lovers kind of works. The next book I have done is The Library Borrow, and I'm going to continue the Curvy Girls Club series. I have Curvy Girls Can't Date Billionaires, which is book 2 in the series. I read Curvy Girls Can't Date Quarterbacks for the Sim Shall pick for February. And this is very much so one of those books where you know it's not going to be the greatest thing you've ever read, so you kind of go in with low expectations. And I ended up enjoying the first book enough. I gave it 4 stars. So this one follows the very overdone poor girl, a rich guy trope. So Jordan is the main character in this one. We meet her in the first book as Aurora's friend, and she has to work as a cleaner with her mum, as well as go to school. She's going to a really expensive, I think it's a private school, and she got in on scholarship, but of course they still need to make money, and so she works lots of jobs, and she's now working for, I think, one of the rich boys at her school, and she doesn't very much so like him. So it did set up at the start, at the end of the first book, this little bit with Jordan, and I'm kind of intrigued by it. I'm not huge on the poor girl, rich guy trope. Like, I've watched enough. I watched a lot of Korean dramas back in the day, and that was really overdone. So, it's still one of my like comfort tropes though, so I think I'll probably enjoy it. All the same, I don't have high expectations like going into it. I kind of know what I'm going in for, and that's not disrespecting the author. I think sometimes we just need to have those books that don't require a lot of like, how to put it without sounding really terrible. I can't put it without. I hope you get what I mean. Like, it's just one of those easy to read books that just fills in a gap, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. My friend, not in the buddy club, a buddy read club, um, but a friend that I've had ever since we met through fanfic, she is reading it alongside me. So she's reading book 1 at the moment and absolutely enjoying it. So I'm hopeful that we can read this one together because it'll be quite fun to just talk about it. I'm really looking forward to it. Have you noticed that I've put a lot of romances on this list? I think the one thing that I'm really good at getting through is romances. So I am trying to do as many paperbacks with romance as possible because I'll find that a lot easier to navigate if I'm doing a lot of paperback reading. Sometimes I will have the audiobook to go with that paperback, but I'll own the paperback, so I'll show that. But in this case, this is the only one that doesn't have an audiobook in the Well Met series, and I'm really gutted because I actually like the narrator and I really have a good time with listening to the series. I've listened to all first 3 books as audiobooks, so I'm kind of sad that this one didn't have one at my library. So I will read this as a physical read. I actually can't remember who this follows. I think this follows Lulu, who we met in book 3. Let me just quickly check. Yep. So Lulu's having a hard time at the end of book 3. She is cousin to the main male character of book 3, Mitch, and I think she ends up coming to Willow Creek, or at least is spending some time in the area. I know that she's a lawyer from memory, and this also crossed paths with Dex, who we kind of met in book 2. He is, I think, the main singer of the Renaissance Fair group, like band group. I can't actually remember what they're called. The Flying something. Let me quickly check. I should have checked. The Dueling Kilts. So, yeah, he's really like known as a Casanova, and we didn't get to spend a lot of time with him, but he does play an important role in book 2, and so this is his book with Lulu, and I'm really excited to finish this entire world off. I've enjoyed myself a great deal. It's so delightful and the banter is normally quite good. And I also really like the topics that are brought up in these books. I also like how wholesome it is. So yeah, really looking forward to the final book in the Well Met series. I kind of wish I had the audiobook, but we'll still be fine to go with as is. Yeah, that'll be another physical book, hopefully read and off my TBR list. And the last book that I'm going to talk about, no, there's two books actually, sorry. The Buzz Readathon book I'm going to read is Imogen, obviously by Becky Albertalli. This is for character name, so Imogen covers that, and I believe this is a YA romance. It follows Imogen, who has been like really supportive and ally to her queer friends, and she's very supportive, will do anything to support them in any way, including pretending that she actually dated one of her friends when they were younger. So her friend inconveniently tells everyone that she and Imogen dated, and for Imogen that's not exactly ideal because she identifies as heterosexual or straight, and she starts to navigate life being labelled in this way at college. So I'm going to take a guess and see that this book is going to, you know, show Imogen's discovery of who she is, and maybe that her sexual identity isn't as black and white as she believes it to be. Because I do know that there is another character called Tessa who I think she starts to get really close with. I am intrigued enough to read this. I've got a friend who really hyped it up, so I do trust their reviews, so that is the one that I'm going to pick for character names, since all the books on my shelf I've read that have a character name in the title. And the last book is the Kindle Takedown read, which is number 83, and I checked my file, and that is What Are Friends For by Sarah Sutton. This is book 3 in a standalone series, so you don't have to read the first two to read this one. This follows Remy, and at a party she participates in a kissing game that's with a blindfold on. She thinks she's kissing her crush, has the most epic kiss of her entire life, and it turns out that it's her best friend since 3rd grade. And when she finds out that it's Elijah and not Jeremy, her crush, she really doesn't want to go back to not kissing her best friend. So obviously this is going to be a friends to lovers. Sounds really wholesome and cute. I got this in a Stuff Your Kindle day, so I have never read anything by this author before, so I cannot really comment on it, but I'm hopeful that it'll be one that I read entirely and not sample or DNF. If that does happen, then I will be picking up another number as I do until I find one, hopefully, that I finish reading in the month. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today as we go through the TBR for March. I'm quite excited actually for the books that I've got, and I'm ready to go. I can't believe we're almost at the end of February, and I am hopeful that the books that I haven't read in this pile will be as good as I'm expecting them to be. And I hope that I can finish the non-fiction and the Kindle Takedown. Until we next meet, I hope you have fun reading or journaling, and I'll see you in my next video, which will most likely be the monthly wrap-up series. But if not, I do have a small video that I did that I might put in between. We'll just see how much time I've got. I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.